We're now in the first ever pay-per-view of 2024 for the AEW brand, and I know a lot has been going on lately. Despite everything that's been going on leading up to the first ever pay-per-view, will it lead up to the expectation for this whole new year in AEW? And that is why we will be doing this video. So today's video, this is going to be the prediction video for AEW Revolution. Before I get started, hi, how are you doing? I'm your girl, Sienna Chanel. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for notification of when I'll be dropping new video in this long form, or mostly on YouTube Short, because that's where I post it on the daily. Well, sometime, but you know. And also you can follow me on all social media platforms. All of it is in the description down below, but let's get started. So I'm recording this on a Friday morning, couple hours before AEW Rampage, and of course tomorrow is gonna be AEW Collision, and I'm very surprised that the pay-per-view is gonna be on a Sunday, which thank goodness, because like I know like for Saturdays it's kind of like a little bit of a conflict, but you know, it is what it is, because I'd rather watch a pay-per-view on a Sunday, and you know, it's pretty much more easier, you know, but that's just me. We have 9 matches by the time of the recording of the video. I know they're going to be adding more matches, especially for the 0-hour pre-show from the looks of it. But looks like, you know, it's just going to be like one of those throwaway match, or like a match just happening from the Ring of Honor brand. Anything can happen. But let's go ahead and kick off with, of course, the first match in no particular order. This is going to be the All-Star Scramble match, and the winner will receive a future AEW World Championship match. Now, I know that they're going to be announcing more contenders, like for Saturday's Collision. Following participate, you have is Chris Jericho, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, and 2 more people. So originally it was supposed to be the Meat Madness match. It was originally for Lance Archer versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow. But Tony Khan posted a tweet because of the injury that's been going on lately. They actually changed the format. I'm going to do my primary and my secondary pick of who should I think will win the All-Star Scramble match to get this future opportunity for the AEW World Championship match. My primary pick, I feel that he definitely deserved to get like a title shot. I mean, anything can happen though, which I'm going to get into, like the 3-way match for the AEW World Champion. And it could be because of like everything that's been going on, especially like becoming part of a notable faction. But he did cut a very solid promo that is quite interesting. So my primary pick is gonna be Wardlow, of course, the one that he mentioned about the CM Punk promo, which he kind of like subliminally messaged you 2 weeks ago, the best in the world. But yeah. And my secondary pick, it's going to be another person who is part of a faction where, of course, I feel like anything can happen. I'm going with Powerhouse Hobbs, my secondary pick. So primary is going to be Wardlow. My secondary pick is going to be Powerhouse Hobbs. Anyway, next up you have is the tag team match between representing Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus FTR. So this match, I'm really looking forward to it. I know they have been going on with a whole rivalry going on with BCC and FTR. It could be like who is the most dominating tag team. I know something has been going on the episode of AEW Collision. Again, I don't watch Collision because I get off from work on Saturday, and plus I got other stuff to do. So I wish Collision should be moved to a different day, but you know, it is what it is. But regardless of who should I pick to win, I mean, I'm a fan of BCC, but I feel that FTR is going to be one that's going to take the victory. So that's where I'm going to go towards, is FTR. Anyway, next up you have is the AEW TNT Championship match between, of course, the Patriarch, Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. Now, I think this is going to be like an either-or type of situation. I'm glad that Daniel Garcia got this title opportunity, though. I'm kind of like a bit conflicted going on to see like how it's going to go either way. I do have a feeling that like we will have Daniel Garcia and especially his crew, Matt Menard, Cool Hand, Angela Parker will come to like help out, because like of course Christian Cage is going to be bringing out his patriarchy, like Killswitch, aka Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, and of course, Mother Wayne or Shayna Wayne. But I have a feeling Ruby Soho is probably gonna be like helping out as well, so that way that she can like, you know, interfere Mother Way. But anything can happen. But I'm gonna take a bullet because I feel like we need a title switch going on. So I'm gonna go with Daniel Garcia to win the TNT Championship match because I feel like with Daniel Garcia, he definitely needs to have like a better push that he needed. He is going into the babyface route. He is a fan favorite in AEW, especially with his like dancing gimmick, which like it's still iconic. But I think that's like the only way to go. So I'm gonna go with Daniel Garcia to become the new AEW TNT champion. Next up, you have is the Battle of the Family, and this is gonna be interesting. You have is Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay, who is officially now in AEW full time, and this is going to be quite interesting how this dynamic is going to turn out or what's going to be happening with Will Ospreay, because honestly I feel that something's going to be happening with the Don Callis family. I mean, Will Ospreay is part of it, but I feel like something shady is going to be happening. I know that everybody was asking, where is Kyle Fletcher? So as you all know in the reports on social media, Kyle Fletcher is having visa issues, so therefore he will not be in attendance, but who knows? Anything can happen. But for my pick, because I feel there's going to be a bit of a shenanigan going on, I'm going with Will Ospreay to be the one that's going to win this match and beat Konosuke Takeshita. And then we'll be seeing something that's going to be happening that will cause Will Ospreay to be kicked out of the Don Callis family. But anyway, next up you have is the AEW Women's World Championship match between Timeless Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. I'm actually loving this whole storyline going on between Deonna and Toni Storm. They were friends like from back in the day, and now they're in AEW. This whole like situation is like so iconic. Now my question is, because I know a lot of people be like, Deonna Purrazzo got a title opportunity. Hopefully, like, what's gonna be happening to her if she win the title or she lose the title. If she's gonna get the proper push if she needed. I don't know. Anything can happen. But for my pick, because like as much as I want Deonna Purrazzo to be the new AEW Women's World Champion, honestly, because she just debuted in January, I feel that it's too soon to have Deonna putting into a whole title picture going on though. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to go with Toni Storm to retain the title so that way that she can definitely continue on with her reign. And with Deonna Purrazzo, like I said, it's very too soon for her to like able to become champion. Just give her some time to get settled in with AEW. I mean, she's already been settling in already, but having her putting on the title ever since she just made her debut January of this year, I honestly, it's like, it's not the right time. But, like I said, give her some time. Like in the next few months or so, then she'll be champion. But that's just me. Next up, you have is the Continental Crown Championship match. So you have it's the current champ, Eddie Kingston, versus Bryan Danielson. Here's a kicker. If Bryan Danielson loses, he has to shake Eddie Kingston's hands. I mean, it's a pretty nice gesture, right? But, Eddie Kingston is held not just the Continental Crown Championship, but he also held the ROH World Champion and the New Japan Strong World Openweight Champion. And it's kind of like a little bit of a conflict going on, too, especially with the Ring of Honor brand and the New Japan Pro Wrestling brand. A lot of it seems to be into a whole confusion to say. But I know Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson, they have this rivalry going on for quite some time. As you all know, Eddie Kingston did team up with FTR in a 6-man tag team match against Blackpool Combat Club. And y'all know that Bryan Danielson did pick up the victory with BCC on the last episode of AEW Dynamite. Anything can happen. For my pick, I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston to retain the titles. And Bryan Danielson's going to shake his hand, whether he likes it or not. But anyway, next up, you have is the AEW World Championship match, the three-way match between the current champ Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland versus, as what Excalibur called him, the liar, Hangman Adam Page. And the reason why he called Hangman Adam Page the liar, because as you all know, on the last episode of AEW Dynamite, he did came out, make the announcement regarding his injury, because as you all know, he landed pretty bad during the match he had last week, where his ankle kind of been twisted. Not kind of, but it's already been twisted. And, he said that he won't be able to compete. But then when Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana came out, he said his few words in the ring. And then Samoa Joe came out, which I like the fact that Swerve Strickland said, like, you won't be a champion. If you lose the title, you're going to be back doing commentary wearing a poncho, which I was like, dang, Swerve. Kind of like a very, a shots fired throwback, though. But I guess, even though, I don't want Hangman Page to win the championship, because he's already been a champion before, though, and I would be cool to have Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe, even though Samoa Joe did have a pretty decent run as an AEW World Champion, despite the circumstances that happened between him and MJF, though. But I feel that we definitely need to have a new champion on hand. So for that, I'm going to go with Swerve Strickland to be the new AEW World Champion. And that way he's going to have like a very incredible run with anyone in AEW. So there's that. And then next up, you have the AEW International Championship match between Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. And this is going to be a very interesting match again. But I'm going to go ahead and go straight to my pick, because I feel like he definitely deserved to be the champion, because anything can happen, especially when it's very undisputed. So I'm going with Roderick Strong to be the AEW International Champion. I mean, Orange Cassidy already held that international title for quite some time, and I feel like it's time for him to just drop the title and go with someone that definitely will have a proper run, especially making more dominance for Undisputed Kingdom. So that's why I'm going with Roderick Strong as the new champion. Now, for the main event match, and this is going to be a very, a very emotional one, because this main event match is going to be a Tornado Tag Team Championship match for the AEW World Tag Team Champion between the current champ, Darby Allin, and Sting versus the Young Bucks, the EVP, Matthew, and Nicholas Jackson. And why it's going to be bittersweet is because this is going to be Sting's final match before the retirement. Now, I understand that Sting wanted to have a tag team match for his final run, especially because, the way he is, with his age and also his health. I think having, more of a tag team for him would be more beneficial, so that way it will make it a little bit more easier for his end. So that's why he wanted to have his last match against, his tag team partner, alongside. I know a lot of people want to see Sting versus Darby Allin, but for the condition that he's at, though, I don't think it's not going to make it any more more beneficial. But I think Sting and Darby Allin together as a tag team makes more sense. I don't get why he choose the Young Bucks to be his final opponent. I understand the Young Bucks are one of the hottest tag team in this modern era, but I honestly feel I wish they would have choose a different tag team, because my friends and we did discuss it earlier, few days ago, that it would have been someone that is up and coming, or someone that is very, very well known in the tag division AEW, like FTR. I wouldn't mind seeing Sting and Darby Allin versus FTR, but it is what it is. And this is prior to Sting and Darby winning the AEW World Tag Team Champion against Big Bill and Ricky Starks, where they were the previous champion at the time, and then Sting and Darby Allin beat them, and therefore they were a champion. So it is kind of we already knew this all along. They're gonna go, the Young Bucks are gonna be the one that's gonna be getting that title and all that, and I'm very happy that Sting did win a title finally from AEW, though. But with how is it gonna play out with this main event match, even though it's gonna be emotional, I'm actually gonna go with something that I've seen like in the past where like when you have like a retirement match ready, especially when you're defending the title, it can go either way. And one of the matches that I was happy that it's kind of like reminding me of like, and I'm saying from a different company. Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship match where she had her final match against Lita. And Lita was the champion at the time. And so Trish beat Lita and she became the WWE Women's Champion and she retired though, which, this is like different era. I feel that for this match, for the Tornado Tag Team match, I'm gonna go with Sting and Darby Allin to retain the title, and that way it will be a very proper standoff for Sting to have his final match to retain the title and be the final champion. And that way he can definitely hand the title to Darby Allin so Darby can find a suitable tag team partner for Sting, or honestly have Sting handpick who will be Darby's tag team partner, to carry on with the champion. But that's just me. And I'm going to stand by this. But if the Young Bucks really becomes the new champion, that makes more sense. But I feel like it would be like a nice, proper standoff for Sting to actually him and Darby retain the title and then retire as a champion and see where it goes with the AEW World Tag Team Champion. So this is where I'm going to go in this direction and for this route. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go one more time with the card. So the All-Star Scramble match, primary pick is going to be Wardlow. Secondary pick is going to be Powerhouse Hobbs. Tag team match, I got FTR over Blackpool Combat Club. The TNT Championship match, I got Daniel Garcia be the new champion over Christian Cage. Then I got the singles match, Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. Ospreay over Takeshita. And then the Continental Crown Champion, I got Eddie Kingston retain over Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson's going to have to shake his hand. Then the AEW Women's Championship match, I got Toni Storm retain the title over Deonna Purrazzo. And then the three-way match for the AEW World Champion, I got Swerve Strickland to become a new champ over Samoa Joe and hemming Adam Page. The AEW International Championship match, I got Roderick Strong to be the new champion over Orange Cassidy. And then for the main event match, which is the Tornado Tag Team for the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, I got Sting and Darby Allin retain over the Young Bucks / EVP. And that's going to be the proper stand-up for Sting's retirement. And that is it, you guys. That is it for the prediction video for AEW Revolution. This is going to be a good pay-per-view, but this is going to be the very emotional one because this is Sting's final pay-per-view appearance, his final match before his retirement. But all I can say is that, Sting, wishing you nothing but the best of luck of your retirement. Thank you for everything to provide in this industry. But anyway, you guys, that is it for the video. Comment down below what do you think of the prediction, who are your pick. Also, let me know what's your favorite Sting's match and whatnot. And until then, like this video, share, subscribe if you're new to this channel already. Hit the bell icon of when I'll be dropping new videos. Make sure to follow me on all social media. Everything is in the description bar below. And yeah, you guys. Anyway, this is your girl, Sienna Chanel, or SC for short. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And etc.